just saw Life.
No man can fully grasp how far and how fast we have come.
Now, this movie came out like a month ago, and it looked interesting, and so I went to see it, but didn't look that interesting, or I would have seen it when it first came out. But I had a free evening, figured I'd go see this thing. So Jake Gyllenhaal, Ryan Reynolds, Rebecca Ferguson, maybe some other people that you would recognize. You know, when you're going to do science fiction or space or whatever, lately, you know, in the last couple of years, there have been some great movies. Gravity, which I absolutely loved. The Martian, which was really great. The book was even better than the movie. But so when you do one of these things, you got to sort of figure out what you're going to do. Is it going to be like a fantasy adventure type thing, or is it going to be like some kind of reality thing? And so this one sort of failed on both ways for me. So it wasn't quite a fantasy thing, and it wasn't quite realistic. You know, that being said, the set design was beautiful. The creative shots from the cinematographer, it was lit okay. The acting was pretty good. Major problem was, you know, the characters. Like, you get sort of like the briefness of the characters, but they're really only there to serve the plot. And you don't, you know, it's like you feel to some degree the loss of characters in the movie. But for the most part, you know, I didn't really care that much, you know. And whenever I say you, I'm really saying I, right? I'm really saying me. So, also, I think that's all I want to say about it. I think it was just fine. I give it a 65 out of 100, and you can wait to see it. But now I'm going to do spoilers. So I'm going to give you some spoilers. I usually don't do this, but spoiler. If you don't want to hear any spoilers, stop. Okay, so the ending was stupid. So the ending would have us completely confused based on editing. It wasn't like some clever switch or some clever thing. The editing showed us one thing, and then it was like, no, it's a completely different thing. You had no idea, which was ridiculous. And, you know, the conceit was this alien creature was intelligent enough to trick the humans. And, you know, it went against type. And it's sort of like, okay, the hero's going to sacrifice himself to save the day, and then turns out that the alien double-crossed them somehow. Except we don't know how the alien, or what about the alien, or why the alien, or how smart the alien is, or whatever. You know, it's just whatever it is, whatever it needs to be is whatever it needs to be in the movie, and it's self-serving in that respect. So, for me, I'm watching the movie and I'm saying, this is well enough. You know, Ryan Reynolds is in it. He dies early on. He added some charm, but of course, Ryan Reynolds as an astronaut is completely unbelievable. And just the communication, the way the astronauts interacted and spoke about what they were dealing with and how they would handle it, did not feel real at all. So, I think they were going for a realistic approach to this, and it ended up feeling very hollow, very thin. And the characters, while the actors brought great, like really great emoting to it, there just really wasn't that enough. You know, there were some characters, there was more than others, but really, you know, it was like in the first 5 minutes, you pretty much had a good idea who you thought was going to be there in the end. Anyway. All that being said, that's why I give it a 65. I love you very much. Thanks for watching my reviews. Share and subscribe if you haven't. And if you want to come see a movie with me, hit me up. I love you. Peace out.
Out of space as yet. Its hazards are hostile to us all. Its conquest deserves the best of all mankind.